Hey everybody, what is up? It is Bolin. If this is your first time on my channel, hi, welcome. I normally talk about drama and tea to do with beauty influencers and YouTubers and all that good stuff over here. So, wow, this video today is a bit of an impromptu one. I'm normally like in a makeup and wig or doing makeup and a wig, and I am actually just about to do makeup for TikTok and stuff. But I wanted to jump on here and make this impromptu video because Jeffree Star is kicking off on IG stories. Now, this doesn't happen very often, but normally it sort of comes before Jeffree Star launching a makeup product or a skincare product or something for Star Lounge or whatever. You know, normally it does. And today, of course, because of what's going on in America, Jeffree Star kicked off on his IG stories.
I just got on my phone for the first time today and I'm so fucking disgusted. I can't believe this is what America has come to. I'm actually speechless right now. To all the beautiful and amazing women that followed me and support me, I just want to say that I'm so sorry. Like, living in this country and seeing how things are progressing is truly fucking disgusting. It's mind-numbing, and people in my DMs are writing me the craziest shit. If you don't believe that a woman should have their own rights, bitch, unfollow me! The fuck? The fuck are you following me for? I'm actually shook at some people's responses. They're atrocious. And now I'm seeing all these news clips. Oh, gay marriage is next. Control's next. In what fucking world? Everything is going backwards. It's literally so hard to fathom and understand how this is even happening. I'm like, I'm speechless again. I'm just so angry and so just. I have no words, actually. I know I'm angry. I'm really, really sad. And for everyone out there that is affected by this, it's just devastating. So it's crazy that in 2022, we care what people are doing to their bodies. We care what other people are doing in the bedroom. Why does anyone fucking care?
Oh, Jeffree, why does anyone care? Why does anyone care what we're doing in the bedroom? Oh, but wasn't it just Jeffree Star on Logan Paul's Impulsive podcast talking all about what he's doing in the bedroom, showing off about having NBA players and all of that in his DMs and all of this, talking all about sex, talking all about what he gets up to in the bedroom because he thinks everybody is so interested in it. Please, Jeffree, please, this is Projection 101.
We live in the culture where no one actually is worried about themselves. That's the problem. Do you, bitch? I'm so disappointed in what's going on now. And I'm so sorry to every single woman that is dealing with this, affected by this. No one should have control over your fucking body, ever. And I don't know what is about to happen, but I just feel like America needs to wake the fuck up.
Of course, what is going on in America with the abortion laws is absolutely fucking horrendous. I don't condone it at all. I've shared all of my thoughts on my Twitter and also on my Instagram about the abortion laws, what is going on with all that. I really do feel for people in America, people with uteruses who this will affect. I do genuinely really feel for you. You know, I know that some of my audience who watch my videos are American, and also just what the fuck, you know, I don't have words for it, really, I don't. But Jeffree Star jumping in on IG, trying to pretend that he somehow all of a sudden cares about women's rights, when before he's never really ever said anything about women's rights. He's never ever done that. And he'll come out and he'll say that this is all because he's changed. He's a different person now, you know, he's changed all of this. But I think if we cut back to the Logan Paul podcast, the Impulsive podcast that Jeffree was just on, he was on there talking about owning 100 guns. He was on there bragging about the fact that he owns 100 guns. And of course now, because of what's going on in America with these abortion laws, conversation is shifting to their gun laws. conversation is shifting because people are saying, oh, you know, America is going to force you to have a child. You won't be allowed to have an abortion. America is going to force you to give birth to a child just so that when that child is 6 years old, then they can be shot when they're at school. You know, and it's turning around. The conversation is turning to guns and the gun laws in America and how guns have more rights than people with uteruses do. So Jeffree Star on Logan Paul Impulsive like a week ago, bragging about owning 100 guns, suddenly now looks a little bit silly, right?
And you were like the first of many things. And in that regard, I don't think many people were doing what you were doing back then at all. Did it affect your identity and was it damaging to your sense of self? Constantly being harassed because you wore makeup, because you like to
dress and wear your hair a certain way.
I think I had such an armor on and I was always like way too much attitude, vicious back. Instead of just ignoring people or like responding with love, I was vicious because I was attacked all the time. And then you go online and everyone, not everyone, but you have a fan base, and this is like MySpace, right? So I've been online on social media for 20 years.
That's absurd.
Isn't that nuts?
Okay, bitch, let's talk about this. Let's talk. You were the first, Jeffree Star, you were the first. Sorry, we've shifted gears from guns and abortion because, of course, all of that news is very heavy stuff, and it's important and we should talk about it. But I'm also going to talk about some of the other stuff from that Logan Paul Impulsive podcast, because that clip there where Jeffree was saying and Logan was saying, oh, well, you were the first, really? I went, nah, you weren't the first, Jeffree. You weren't the first. Because I grew up in the 90s, you know, I was born in the 80s. I grew up in the 90s and I remember seeing people on TV like Pete Burns, you know, who was, of course, an androgynous man in makeup. You know, I remember Duran Duran wearing makeup. I remember David Bowie wearing makeup, you know. So for Jeffree to kind of be like, oh yeah, nobody else was doing what I was doing, I was the first. I find that to be all very kind of prideful and very like Jeffree having an ego. You know what I mean? Like, I'm a Jeffree Star fan and I'm saying all of this about him because it's genuinely how I feel. Like, after seeing that Logan Paul interview and everything, you know, no, Jeffree, you weren't the first androgynous man in makeup, you know, in the media. Because Duran Duran, Pete Burns, David Bowie and plenty more androgynous rock stars and pop stars existed before Jeffree Star even came along, before MySpace was even a thing. Of course, I'm of the generation that did grow up with MySpace, so I grew up with MySpace and, you know, all of that, the emo scene and all of that. I grew up with all of that, but, you know, before we had that, we had the nu metal scene, where men in the nu metal bands wore makeup. So, like, I just find it all a little bit funny that Jeffree's like, oh yeah, I was the first one to do that. When you actually look at pictures of like Jeffree Star and Pete Burns side by side, you can actually see some similarities, you know, like Pete Burns from the 80s, Jeffree Star from MySpace. You can see some similarities, you know, with the styling, the way they dressed, you know. So it's not Jeffree was the first, but he's sitting there on the Logan Paul podcast being like, oh yeah, I'm such an original, I was the first. Okay, girl, you are gold. Sorry, I've gone back to the 80s. Sorry. Yeah. Anyway, let's do some makeup. Let's do some makeup before I start belting out any more 80s tunes and really make you guys wish you hadn't clicked on this video. Yeah, I was just laughing at that. Jeffree Star having a panic attack on IG because he's paranoid now that people will come for him for being one of the gun lovers, you know. Really, that is what it is. You know, to me, it all looks kind of transparent. He's worried that people are now going to start coming for him like they did over the yak meat. People are going to start coming for him for the guns. Like, girl, you know, well, you went on that podcast bragging about owning 100 guns. So now if people come for you, well, you've kind of only got yourself to blame. You know what I mean? I just find it all quite funny, you know. But, oh, yeah, Jeffree cares so much about women's rights. So much. So much about women's rights. Girl. I'm laughing. I am laughing. Like, Jeffree, dude, I think the best thing you can do is lay low for a couple of days on social media. You know, chill out with your yaks. and just like hide for a little bit, you know, because these law changes about abortion are going to have people talking about how guns have more rights than people with uterus do. You know, it's gonna have people talking, and Jeffree is projecting the house. Projecting the house. Okay, lovelies, let me know all your thoughts about the drama in this video. This one, as I said, was just a quick impromptu video because I've been working all day, but I am going to now spend my night doing makeup for TikTok and Instagram. So if you guys want to follow me over there, I'll leave my Instagram down below in the description or something. If you want to follow me for makeup rather than drama, whatever, I'll leave my IG or my TikTok or something down below. Take care of yourselves. Have a great Friday night or day, whatever time it is where you are. And I will see you soon on the next one. Thank you for watching. Bye.